You're good to go, Jennifer.
Welcome everyone. Well, it's almost fall and that means it's time to start thinking about decorating your front porch or your back patio. And today we are going to make this boho inspired landscape doormat that you can see behind me with DecoArt patio paint. And our patio paint's made right here in the USA, right here in Lexington, Kentucky. And we're excited to present this class to you. And we hope you have as much fun as we're going to have. I want to let you know that Abby is our moderator today, and she'll be wanting to answer any questions you have or let me know any comments you have. Couple rules for the class. This should be stress-free and relaxing. So if you're following along, this is one of those projects that looks very simple, and it is. We're going to paint it. It's going to be beautiful. You just need to relax and enjoy it. And we'd love to hear from you, any feedback you have or questions. So Abby, let's get started. Okay, alrighty. Can we see? Yeah. I think it's a little.
1 second.
We're almost there, everyone. Bear with me. Don't shut it off on this.
Oh, okay, I think we're good.
Is it good?
Yep.
Okay, can everyone see that okay? I hope so. Let me know if you cannot. We're trying to get it centered. Okay.
Oh, it's upside down.
It's upside down. Uh-oh.
Is it?
Is it? Here's
no,
my
hands.
hands. Is that right? Okay. Let me know in the comments if it's upside down for you guys. Let me know if you can see it correctly or not. Okay. So as I said, we're going to do this boho landscape inspired doormat. This is an 18 by 30 natural core doormat. You can get them, you can get them anywhere. You can get it online. You can get it at Lowe's. You can get it at Walmart. It's just a blank one. You could actually use a doormat that you already have if you want to spruce it up, because the paint is opaque and will give you great coverage. We're also going to be using 4 patio paint colors today. I did say in the supply sheet to have 2 of the Sandy Shore because it does use a lot of that particular paint. So we're going to use Marigold, Sandy Shore, Coral, and Tiger Lily Orange. Some of the supplies you may need as well. This is optional, painter's tape that I'll show you where you may or may not want to use it. I called out to a 3/4 inch brush. It's great for going along and making some of your lines. And then of course, these stencil brushes for applying paint and Sharpie to draw your lines. You'll also need some sort of a circle template or a plate. I'm using, seriously, it's like a salad plate that I brought from home for the sun. So something I like to do just really quick when I have something like this in front of me, I thought this would be interesting to share, is how do you plan out doing kind of a very simple design? I wanted to do a horizontal landscape with a sun. I wanted it to be non-traditional. I wanted it to be for fall, but I wanted it to be fall colors, but kind of non-traditional, boho inspired. And I thought it was interesting that boho style really is a mix of artistic expression and eclectic style with emphasis on organic elements. And that really is what this is. So I chose these colors, like I said, that I think are very boho, but also very fall. This could also transition well into spring, summer. So it's a doormat that's practically seasonless. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how easy it is to take this. Again, how I planned this out from a design perspective is I wanted to make sure that I didn't have straight horizontal lines. So I made sure that I have like more room on one side than another for the background, that my sun is kind of going down into the sunset or into the horizon line. And I'm also wanting to use this mat, this doormat, as negative space. So while you could use a brown or a cocoa colored paint, I thought, why not leave some of this open and just make it even more organic and beautiful? And you use less paint, but you have just an amazing look at the end. So I'm going to move all of this stuff off. I'm going to show you how I'm going to get started. So I am going to take this, And this is where, if you want to use tape at all, you can kind of go, okay, I'm going to put my circle template or plate about where you want it, and then kind of decide, you can do it with tape or you can do it with a Sharpie marker, kind of put where you think. Let me get this going. So I know that I'm probably going to want to do more like higher up here because it's more interesting than if I were to do it straight across. Let's see, get this tape. Boy, this tape is like really tapey, sticky. There we go. And then probably doing one more down here, something about like that, because I'm going to want to do this edge. So I know that I'm not going to go below that deck. So again, you can kind of like mark your areas that you want with tape to kind of denote that. I'm going to take a Sharpie. What I did was I kind of, if you can see on the edge, I kind of marked where I think these are going to be. And so I'm going to go ahead and just freehand draw it. Now you can take this as a guide and you can make it bigger if you want and really plan it out with paper. Like I said, I'm going to just draw on this because a Sharpie marker really goes very easily on this natural fiber. So I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to start up at the top and I'm just going to draw. And I'm going to kind of take it down. And you know what's nice about this too is if you mess it up, it's really not a big deal because you can paint right over it. So I'm going to take that to about there. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do this. Now, what I can do is move that out of the way because I'm going to go like this. Okay. So now, knowing that I want my sun to be about like that, I'm just going to go right around this. Simple. So I've got that started. Now I'm going to move down here a little bit. Again, I'm just kind of freehand drawing, making very organic, loose lines. It's not, you don't have to have anything perfect. And you don't have to have a super dark line because again, the paint will cover it up. You can see it really easily. I don't know if it matters. I'm left-handed, so I tend to go right to left rather than left to right. So the next one I'm going to do is this right here. There. And actually, I am going to kind of move this way. I'm going to come up here. Bring this up a bit. Here. And lastly, I'm going to come up into here. So you can see I've got my lines ready to go. I'm going to move this out over to here, kind of use it as a guide. It's off to the side. And we're going to get started with painting. So I'm going to start top to bottom. So I'm going to start with the Patio paint outdoor. Again, made right here in the United States. We love our paint. We're super excited. Some of the key features of this paint is it's outdoor weather resistant. So it does really work well outside. It comes in a variety of colors. We actually have, I think, around 40 of them are sold at Michael's. And there's actually a little over 50 that we sell that you can get online as well and online at Michael's. And they're wonderful. And this can go on so many surfaces outside, like terracotta, concrete, wood, different furniture, even things like this. So you give it a light shade. I am going to squeeze it out. And I'm going to begin with my 3/4 inch brush. I don't know if can you see me getting any of the paint there?
Can't see that, but I think we could maybe.
I don't know if that's going to help. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of start with tapping this in like along here. So you can kind of see like this, where I'm going to end up going. Let's see.
I think that's. You can't see your paint.
You can't see the paint?
You can't see your paint.
Oh, well, we can move that. Let's see. Can you see it if I pull it right up there? No? Or I can just do this. Let's just move this right up here for now.
Perfect.
Can you see that?
See your paint now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to scoot it a little bit. Okay. So you can see how rich and thick and creamy that this paint is. And the sisal is very absorbent. So I'm gonna go right along here. Excuse me, I said sisal. This is a Coir rug, not sisal. I bet you could use sisal. It's the same kind of organic material.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about this paint. I think you can use it on so many different surfaces.
Yes.
Anything really on your front porch or your backyard.
Let's get that out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to show you. I'm going to take my very large stencil brush and I'm just going to load the brush and I'm going to start kind of tapping in so you can see how that looks right to the edge. Now you may want to do like 2 coats of this once you get through, because it is pretty absorbent. The paint does sit on the top, which is good. But you can see like you'll get sort of, I don't want to say splotchy, but you get sort of very textury. If you like that, that's great. If you want to keep going a bit, you can do that too. Some paint. What's nice about this too, once you get going, it's actually really relaxing. It's not a difficult project. It's just something where you could do it, I believe, in under an hour. It doesn't really take very long at all. And it's something you could do right on your kitchen table. And you're just gonna tap and add color. And you can see how very mottled it looks. But again, if you add a second coat, that really will fill in as you go.
So we had a question.
Yes.
And they are wondering if there's a way to seal this to withstand the elements, or if it's more of a decorative piece.
No, actually, this paint is weather resistant, so you do not have to seal it. It pretty much can handle some of the elements. Now, I would say, if you're expecting a snowstorm or something, or lots of rain, you might want to bring it in like you would anything that's painted that's out on your porch, or you cover it. But it really is weather resistant. We created it to be that way, so that it would not require an additional varnish. So that way, it's kind of a one-step paint, which is great. So you can see how quickly this fills in. And something else I love about this paint too is, you can paint terracotta pots with this. You can paint some of your wood furniture with this. It's really great. It comes in so many beautiful colors, and it's really opaque and easy to use. And cleanup is easy because it is a water-based paint. So it's not like it's a solvent-based paint that you have to be careful with. And I'm just kind of tapping it in to create kind of a placeholder for color right now, because like I said, I will come back and put in an additional coat, put on an additional coat of color. But it's just, again, just kind of fun and relaxing to just stencil it on, so to speak.
I love this project. I'm more of a cool colors
Mhm.
person. So I feel like if I were to do this, I would probably take advantage of some of the other DecoArt
Colors.
patio paint colors. Like we have so
Mhm.
many beautiful blues and greens. But that's just me. I like this one, but I feel like my vibe is more the blues and greens.
Yeah. Well, you know what's cool too? I mean, this could be a moon and mountains and at night. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do to play with this design.
Mhm.
Again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, and you can add more horizon lines if you want. You know, you don't have to be limited to what I drew out. You can do as much or as little as you want. You could make it look like it's the ocean if you want instead. There's a lot of things you could do. Okay, so I'm going to kind of stop on that one. I'm just simply, because I'm going to show you, I'm just going to wipe this down this way because I really don't want this to be super wet. I'm just going to wipe the paint off this way to remove some of that excess paint, because I'm going to use this brush again in just a moment. So I'm coming back to my 3/4 inch brush. And I'm now going to use coral. Just put that right there. Scoop this a little bit. So I'm using this again to kind of create the line of where this is going to go. You can see. And what's nice is you can really see how vibrant the color is against this really natural fiber that's here.
Kelly says that she loves that color.
This color, coral?
Yes, I love that color too. It's so
It's
vibrant.
really pretty. It is really pretty. So how many of you tend to decorate your front porch for fall? Do a lot of you do that? I know I do. And I really, like I said, I'm kind of untraditional. So this project really appeals to me because it's something, again, that has more legs than just like fall, but it's kind of untraditional. It would go with fall colors and fall leaves and a cool wreath that you want to put on your door. So there's just a lot of things I really like doing with this. Okay, so I got that part. Go back down under here a little bit, just kind of give it that line. And I really like this coral color too. I think I'm going to take it down a little bit more because I think I want to see more of it. I think I made my lines a little wonky there compared to the matte that I showed you. Put some more on here. And you can see you do really squeeze through quite a bit of this paint. And you can see how the Sharpie marker like just goes away. So even if you made a mistake and you go, oh no, I don't want that, you can just like tap right over the top and you're not going to see that. So it's really a guide for you, but don't feel like you're locked in by those lines that you created. Again, let's get some of these lines here. So again, this is DecoArt Patio Paint. that is outdoor weather resistant. We have 40 colors at Michael's. This is not the only color palette you have to use. Again, this is strictly for fall, like it could roll into spring and summer too. You can see it's a great paint. So here I come back with my stencil brush. And again, I'm just really loading that up again and coming in. And like if you kind of drag, you can see it will get in there. But if you like really kind of tap it in pretty assertively, it'll get in there. But you know, it's okay that it sits on top. You know, this stuff is really scratchy anyway. And so don't be afraid, like it's gonna be just as scratchy over here. It's not like this is gonna change the texture at all of your rug.
Yeah, and patio paint, it does dry to a satin
Yes.
finish normally, but of course with something a little more textured like this, it'll look a bit more matte.
Yeah, you don't really see the satin finish on here. And you know, it's really, I'll show you really quick. There was a pumpkin behind me that I did that was just kind of to show you what our gold, our metallic looks like. I'm gonna grab it. So this is patio paint. This is done with glorious gold. And I just took a pumpkin I got from the store. You could use anything from Michael's. There's tons of pumpkins on sale right now. You could get this and it just elevates your pumpkin and it makes it cool. And again, it's that sort of, you know, boho vibe. This was about 2 coats of the glorious gold patio paint. You can see the sheen on it. And it's just on a regular pumpkin. You could do it with gourds or anything you want to do. It's just super fun. You could do it on the bottom of some of your pots, just to, again, kind of elevate the look of your fall porch decor. I mean, why not? If you get sick of it, you could paint over it with something else. There's just endless possibilities when you have such a versatile paint line like patio paint is, plus the fact that it goes on so many surfaces and there's so many versatile colors that you can use, including the metallic.
Yeah, don't we have patio paint neons too?
We do.
Yeah, which is super fun.
Yeah.
And I think Jennifer, she mentioned earlier that we make all of our paint right here in the US in Kentucky. Which is cool, I think.
It is cool. I love it because we can kind of go over to our warehouse anytime and see our paint being made, and we actually have tours there in Stanford, and it's just really fun. It's cool. Okay, so you can kind of see how that one is done. You can see how this is shaping up. We're going to move next and do the sun. So again, I think I will for this, going to rinse my stencil brush. When you rinse your stencil brush, just make sure you get not only all the paint out of it, but as much water as you can out of it, because you don't want it to be wet. You want it to be as dry as you can. So you really want to get in there and like clean it and get all the water out of it. But before I do that, I am going to use my 3/4 inch brush again. And this time I'm going to use the Marigold for the sun. Give it a light shake. And I'll kind of pull it up here so you can see how it pours. Hopefully you can see how it pours. Can you see that? It's just really beautiful. Can you see that okay, Abby?
Yeah.
Okay. So now same thing. You're just going to kind of go in here, follow your line. You can see it's very relaxing. You could do this on a Saturday morning and it would be fabulous. Now, normally with our patio paint too, we tell you that once you paint it, it takes about 72 hours to cure. That doesn't mean dry time. This will be dry. I mean, you'll be ready to paint this by the time you make it down to the bottom. You could come back with a second coat. What we mean by that is just so that it's as weather resistant as possible. We want it to cure for 72 hours. So I'm going around on this again. And you know, it's okay to go right up against that other color. This. So do all of you, I don't think anyone answered my question. Do all of you tend to decorate for fall? And can you see yourself doing this? Is anyone following along with this project? I'm asking a lot of questions at the same time, sorry.
Yeah, it looks like some people do. I always decorate for fall. I love fall. It's kind of, I'm not a big summer person. I think it's too hot. So when fall comes around, I start going back outside a little bit more. You know?
Yeah.
And I want to make my outdoor space pretty.
Well, I'm from California, so I'm used to having a really pretty outdoor space most of the time. So being here in Lexington, I love to go sit outside. It's been beautiful lately, which is great. But gosh, you guys have some killer mosquitoes. So it's kept me from going out until it's been really nice lately. So I don't like that, but
yeah.
But you're right. I do like to have my outdoor space pretty. So I enjoy it when I sit outside. It's, you know, the nights are starting to chill a bit, and maybe not so much on the West Coast, but out here.
Jennifer says that she wants to make her own Halloween mat.
There you go.
A great idea. We have some really good orange options in the patio paint line. So that would be a great project, a Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, you could do like moon and bats and stuff, and it would be really cool. And you can personalize it. You could write your name on this or paint with this. So it's just endless. And you can see it's just very kind of just mindless and relaxing to fill in your hand-drawn template that you created here. And again, that was pretty quick here on the sun. I was getting inspired by you, Abby, wanting to do a moon scene. Okay.
Make one of these.
So now, let's see. So I'm going to leave a little bit of this core. I think what I'm going to do, let's see here. I have this that I'm leaving. This I'm going to paint white. This is going to be orange. So I'm going to come in and do the tiger lily orange right now. Now I left quite a bit more of the mat here and here than I did, I believe, on the one that I showed. And again, you can do that. You can do whatever you want. Here I'm going to come back again with.
We have a question.
Yes.
Someone is asking, Millie is asking, would this be suitable for a cinder block type surface?
Yes.
Yes.
Because you can do it on concrete and you can do it on terracotta. I believe a cinder block should be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So now this is another thing that I'm doing, just because like if you get, if you're working on this and you get forgetful, I do this a lot. Like I'm putting this here, some tape, so that I remember not to paint this, because I will start talking and go, oh, I totally forgot that I was supposed to leave that blank. So little trick, just kind of know that, if you want to do that, I'm going to do it down here too. So I kind of know, don't paint down here. I'm only painting these two areas. So now I'm going to be painting with tiger lily orange. And for those of you who want to do Halloween, this is a great orange. You can see again, it's just really, really pretty. So I'm going to come kind of down here. And I'm going to go this way, not that way, because I want the top section to be the natural matte. We're working with the material, so we don't have to paint the whole thing. It makes the project go faster. It costs you less money in paint. And it's just, I think, prettier because you're using elements of what you already have.
And it's only about 3:30. We still have 30 minutes left. Like, I
Okay.
love how quick and simple this project can be. You could spend more time, maybe do some more detail if you wanted, but I love the simplicity.
Well, and again, like if you were gonna come back and do a second coat, you know, you could probably have this done
Oh yeah.
in under an hour. And again, you can leave as much of this core mat exposed as you want, or you can cover up the whole thing if you want. You could go more layers. It's just totally up to you. And again, this is just a really, to me, this helped a lot to have this because it kind of just gave me a defining line, if you will, so that I wasn't worried about the stencil, the round, large stencil coming in and out and kind of giving me a blurred line. I also said that in the supply list to have a small stencil brush if you need it, because like when you get in here, if you don't want that fatter stencil to, you know, blur your line or expose your line, then you want to come back in and do it, use that. So that way you get it little tiny, and I'll show you when I get there how easy that is too. And I think for a lot of us too, a lot of these things, it's really simple too, because you just really have to invest in about 4 or 5 bottles of paint and your rug. I think most of us have like a paper plate to make the sun or moon. And, you know, I think if you're a crafter, you probably have stencil brushes and some sort of larger flat brush that I'm using. You could even go larger. I know I have an inch wide brush that I could use. But no matter the brush, it's just great. The DecoArt patio paint is just so easy to use. And if you want it off your brush, you can do that.
And you can get this online at Michael's. You can get it in stores. I think Michael's carries what, about 40 of our colors.
Yes, we actually have more than that, but my gosh, in fact, I was at Michael's yesterday, and there, you know, I picked up a pumpkin because I wanted to do that, the glorious gold patio paint on part of the pumpkin to show you, but they had a well-stocked, you know, assortment. Thank you, Abby. Patio paint. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great because like there's just so many things you can do with it. So now I'm going to show you. You might need more water here. Yeah, if you want to just go dump that. We're having a water dumping right now, so I can get this done. So coming back with my Tiger Lily orange, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is. Again, just a nice application, easy to use, very opaque in color. There's nothing worse than when you go to paint something and the color all seeps in and it's gone. And I did not find that at all with this patio paint. It works great. It stays on the surface. You know, even an absorbent surface like this, you can still see it. Like I said, I'll probably go back over it with a second coat. And like we said before, on other outdoor surfaces, it will have a nice satin finish. On here, not so much, because this is very porous and you just don't see it, which I'm glad of. I didn't want it to be satin on here because I like the idea of the natural fibers, and I like this looking kind of matte and just really pretty. Do we have any other questions or comments?
No, I know.
Have any of you used patio paint before? Is this your first time with using it, or with watching it being used? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them.
I love working with Patio paint personally. We've got some first time users in here. I think that it's one of the easiest like outdoor paints to use. It's so easy to use. It's durable, and the color range. I mean, you really can't beat it.
No. So I'm going to show you guys again. Here's the smaller of the brushes. Now you can see you probably wouldn't want to do this with the whole thing because goodness, it will take you forever. But when you get into some skinnier areas, if you're more comfortable loading up your brush with paint and just coming in those little skinny channels, that works really well. And I'll probably want to come back and make sure that my black line is covered up. I'm a little below it, but I would, you can come right back up, especially with the 3/4 inch brush, and take care of that too. Thank you for the water change. I appreciate it. And you can see how pretty, now I can remove that because I know that I'm not going to paint there, but you can see how pretty the contrast is. And it's just, I love it. It's so pretty. And again, this is an 18 by 30 natural core doormat. We're only using 4 colors of Patio paint to create this really cool boho inspired landscape doormat. This look is so on trend right now. It can be kind of coastal, it can be mountains. It's just really, and it's really a soothing, cool design. Kind of takes you to your happy place, I think. And it's a little non-traditional. Like, I have not seen a doormat like this. Usually they have words on them, or, that's what's great about doing something yourself. You can really personalize it and do it however you want. And you can be inspired by so many of the trends that are out there. And just with a simple Sharpie and some paint and brushes, I mean, you're good to go. And that's, I think, what I love most about crafting and being able to make my own things. I can say, gosh, I made this myself and I love it. So now I'm going to come back again to our Sandy Shore paint, which is this one. So this is the same thing we used here. And I'm going to squeeze it out. I don't know if you guys can see that. I gotta clean my brush again because it's very orange from the Tiger Lily orange. I don't want my white to be orange. So sorry for the dead air. I'm cleaning a brush.
We'll forgive you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so loading my brush back up. Can you see the load of the brush or no?
We cannot.
You cannot. Let me show you. See, you can kind of see I'm working off of this mat here. So I've got this. Remember, I'm not going to paint this because I want that to be the natural mat. Right? Yes. I always have to check because I start talking and then I forget.
No, you get into your zone.
I do get into my zone. And again, this is something I forgot to do, which I need to do. I need to use my 3/4 inch flat brush to kind of make the lines so that I don't have an issue. So let's do that. And I'm going to go, this time I'm going to go a bit below my black line, just so I don't have to go over it again.
I think that this would also be a great gift.
Yes,
I know a bunch of people that would probably love to get something like this as a gift.
I would agree. When I first moved from California to Texas a few years ago, the gift from our realtor was a personalized doormat. And I thought it was so cool. I had never thought about a doormat as a gift. So when you said that, I would totally agree. That's a really good gift. And this, again, it's handmade. It's cool. It doesn't look like it's handmade. It's something that you could see, you could see this at like a pottery barn or somewhere because of the design.
Mhm.
And it's just really cool. And you can say that, you know, I made this.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive looking. Like it looks like you've done almost more than you're doing.
Yeah. And it's gone by pretty fast. I mean, we're not even we're at like 45 minutes here, maybe.
Yep, we're just about 45 minutes in.
And you can see again, you know, that you can get this accomplished fairly quickly.
Mhm.
And you could do it with your friends. It would be really fun to have like a doormat night for your friends.
That would
And,
be so fun.
you know, everyone could do their own thing. And again, what's so great about this is like, if you don't like the design, you could draw something else, even using, you know, a Sharpie that you think would be, you know, it is permanent, but this goes right over it because it's opaque. So you don't have to worry and be locked into the design. I'm gonna set this here and squeeze out some more of our paint. And again, you can kind of see how this is mimicking the design that I did. So again, you know, if I just really enjoy kind of drawing out a design first, I usually will just use markers and fill in the color that I want based on what I think I'm going to use from our paint line. And then just to kind of really clarify it, I'll actually put a little paintbrush of paint right over my marker to see, like, does that really go together? Does that look good? Do I love it? And usually I do, and that's where I go with it. Okay, so we've got that kind of done. Let me get my tinier brush. Thank you. Oh, will you rinse that for me? We're tag teaming here with these brushes that so you can see, like right in here where it's thicker, can do that. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like to do like a little bit of a second coat up top with this white, because I think of all the colors, the this color, the Sandy Shore, probably could stand out a little more. We could benefit from a second coat. Okay, is that brush ready? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, assistant.
You're welcome.
So is everybody liking this idea? And you can see it's really zen to do it. Like it's just very chill.
Someone said that they wouldn't want anyone to step on it because it's so nice looking.
No, but you can. I mean, we actually, because I did this about a month ago, and we put it out because a couple of people really wanted to see what it felt like to step on it or walk on it. And this paint is really durable, and you know, it feels exactly like this, the natural Coir. So it's not, you don't have to be afraid that people are gonna, you know, ruin it. I think it would clean up just fine. A little bit of, so let's get into these spots. And we're almost to the point of starting our second coat. So I'm not going to obviously do all of the second coat, but I do want to show you really quickly what that will look like, so you get an idea. And I really hope that you guys all have a great fall. I think this is a fun project. If not this, you could do something similar. And again, you know, you could even do a refresh on a mat that you have already on your porch. That's what's great about this paint. It can go right over the top of something. You might have a welcome mat. Think about, you know, just using some paint to go over that. So right now I'm going to load this brush, the larger brush, and let's see, I'll do it over here. Hopefully you guys can see okay. You can see where you get a lot more of the paint coming through now, or sitting on top, I should say, when you come back with a second coat. So you can really see there. So once you put a second coat with the paint on, it's going to be even more, I don't want to say opaque. It's opaque, but you can certainly see the natural fibers of the rug. And I think that's what makes it really cool. It's very modeled looking. It's, I don't know, there's something very organic about this. And it's kind of very forgiving as well. And like I said, you will need 2 bottles of this Sandy Shores, because I think this is the one that needs 2 coats more than anything else. But see the difference? You can really see it now that you get a lot more opacity on this particular surface. And again, you can come right up against there if you want. Come right on there, and you can use your smaller brush if you want. You can come back in too with your whiter brush if you want. Thank you. Abby's sitting here squeezing paint out for me as I go so that I don't have to stop tapping. But you can really see now the difference and how much that pops. If you wanted to ever personalize anything, I suppose that you could do whatever you want and write something on this, or you could, you know, paint something on this. But this should probably, you know, looking at this, you can see you should have the confidence now to be able to go, I can do that. This is not hard. You know, if you want to go around too on the outside a little bit more too, that's fine. What's great about this rug too, because it has, you can see it has the black rubber on the back, so it's not going to move and nothing's going to bleed through. So you could do this just like this right on your kitchen table. And then all you need are some guests to come over to show off your work. And you know what, personally, even if you don't have guests, it just makes me happy to walk in my own house and like look at stuff I made if it's on the porch, or just to see something that I did, and it just makes me happy. So I'm wishing you a happy fall. Fall, I think, is in about a week, the official start date of fall. So yeah, just enough time to get your mats done and you're good to go. Now, again, if you're not happy with leaving this much of the core rug come through, you're able to fill it in. You can come back again and fill in these other colors. But I think you get the idea that you can do this. You're able to do this in under an hour, and you have a fabulous, fabulous doormat for fall. So let's take a look one more time at the other finished one back here. Can you see me okay? Yep. Okay. And again, just to show you 4 colors. See, this one has less of the matte compared to what we just did. Again, you can use the Glorious Gold patio paint made right here in the United States for us. It's just 2 coats and you get this elevated pumpkin. You could do it with gourds. You could do it with the, you know, the evergreen pumpkins, I guess, that are made that you can get at Michael's or one from your grocery store. I got this one at Trader Joe's. It was like $2. And it just elevated my little pumpkin. And I would put this on my porch with my really cool boho rug, and I'm good to go. So happy fall. Do we have any questions before we go?
See, I haven't gotten any.
Okay.
If you have any other questions, you can always check out michaels.com or DecoArt.com. We have some more information about patio paint as well as our other paints.
And you can find, you know, if you didn't have a chance to look at the supply list, you can go back and download the supply list. You can make this, you know, easily in under an hour. Again, patio paint comes in over 50 colors. Michaels carries 40, including metallic, and you will just love it. It's weather resistant. It's fabulous. You can see the opacity level, and I think you're going to love it. So happy fall.
Would you recommend that you let people, that you let it dry between each coat?
Yes, I would. And in fact, this is so absorbent. That's why I was able to go back. It was dry by the time I got down to the bottom. But normally, yes, you want to let it dry between coats. If you're working on something like terracotta or concrete or furniture, wood furniture outside, let it dry, put your second coat or third coat, whatever you want to do. And then normally, like, we recommend that you let it cure for 72 hours before you put it out in the elements. And that gives you your best shot at keeping your piece weather resistant. Okay. Anything else?
Any other questions? Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.